Bigger themes from Week 11, what this means for the playoffs. Putting these two teams side by side, we can see some emerging league-wide themes. 1. Defense fuels contention. Both Philly and Denver are leaning on their defensive units to carry them. In a league often obsessed with high-powered offenses, we're reminded that defense still wins championships. 2. Clutch moments matter. Whether it's fourth down stops, Eagles, or red zone stands, Broncos, both teams made big plays when the margin for error was razor-thin. That's not just skill, it's mental toughness. 3. Quarterback pressure. The Broncos didn't just contain Mahomes, they disrupted him at critical moments. That's huge. On the flip side, the Eagles' defense kept Jared Goff uncomfortable, limiting his rhythm. When your defense can rattle even veteran QBs, you're playing with house money. 4. Execution over flash. Neither team had dominant offensive explosions in Week 11, but they executed when it mattered. For the Eagles, that meant making the most of limited scoring chances. For the Broncos, it meant finishing with a field goal and trusting their defense. Broncos' defense carries them to relevance. On the other side of the league, in Denver, the Broncos delivered a statement win, 22-19 over the Kansas City Chiefs. This is more than just another W, it feels like a turning point. One of the biggest takeaways? The Broncos' defense isn't just good, it's elite, and it's showing up in the biggest moments. In their win over Kansas City, they throttled Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in key situations, especially in the red zone. The Broncos' red zone defense forced the Chiefs into tight, uncomfortable situations. When it mattered, they didn't back down. That kind of composure speaks volumes about their mindset. As The Ringer put it, Denver is no longer an afterthought, they're legitimate contenders. What makes this even more significant is how Denver is stacking wins. According to ESPN's recap, this was another comeback, another late-game push. Winning when you're not at your best, when your offense might sputter, is the kind of resilience that championship teams build on. And credit where it's due, their defense, under coordinator Vance Joseph, has become a nightmare for opposing offenses, especially in crunch time. Some will point to their offensive limitations, yes, Bo Nix has had his ups and downs, and Denver continues to be a heavily penalized team. But what's undeniable is the foundation they're building, a defense that wins you games. That kind of identity matters. In a division where the Chiefs have long dominated, the Broncos are saying, not this year. Their win doesn't just move the standings, it shifts the narrative. Week 11 of the NFL season delivered a powerful mix of defensive dogfights, clutch kicking, and defining moments, but two big stories stood out: the Philadelphia Eagles defense grinding out another win, and the Denver Broncos staking serious claim to the AFC West. Eagles defense, the cornerstone of a title run. Philadelphia's Week 11 win, a hard-fought 16-9 victory over the Detroit Lions, underscored a truth that is becoming increasingly clear: this Eagles team is built on defense. It wasn't flashy, there weren't blowout plays or offensive fireworks. Instead, the Eagles leaned on grit, discipline, and steely second-half resolve. As CBS Sports noted, their second-half defense has become clutch, repeatedly shutting down opponents when it matters most. In this game, the Lions couldn't convert on fourth down, going 0-for-5, a sign that Philadelphia's defensive unit was in full control. Meanwhile, they held Lions quarterback Jared Goff to a brutal completion percentage and limited his effectiveness all night. Their ability to make stops is even more impressive when considering the context. The Eagles' offense has shown flashes of inconsistency this season, but the defense is compensating, keeping them in every close game. For coach Nick Sirianni and defensive coordinator, whoever is calling plays, that's a huge advantage. In a league where playoff games often come down to a few key moments, having a defense that can come up big in the fourth quarter is invaluable. What's especially encouraging is how the Eagles are adjusting over time. According to multiple observers, their second-half shutdowns aren't just luck, schematic adjustments, better situational awareness, and disciplined execution are playing a big role. This isn't just about one game. It could be part of a larger identity, a team that doesn't need to outscore you so much as outlast you. Risks and questions still linger. Even with these strong performances, both teams have questions. For the Eagles, the offense, while capable, remains inconsistent. If their defense keeps locking teams down, they can survive, but in a deep postseason, they'll need their offense to step up. Their red zone efficiency, play calling, and big play generation will be under the spotlight. For the Broncos, can their offense sustain this pace? Penalties and miscommunications have cropped up, per analysts. And while their defense is elite, the regular season is one thing, postseason is another. They'll need the offense to do more than just manage. Also, Denver's special teams matter. That walk-off field goal by Will Lutz was clutch, but relying on game-winning kicks isn't a long-term game plan. Looking ahead. Eagles, if their defense stays this dominant, they're a real threat. The key will be whether the offense can be more consistent and take some pressure off the defense in the coming weeks. Closing out tight games has become their strength, but to go deep in the playoffs, they'll need balance. Broncos, with this win, they've staked a strong claim in the AFC West and possibly beyond. If they can clean up some of their offensive issues and maintain this defensive intensity, they could be the dark horse team nobody wants to face. Final thought. Week 11 didn't just deliver tight games, it delivered clarity. For the Eagles, their defense isn't just a complement to their offense, it's their backbone. For the Broncos, their defense is lifting them into real contender status, even as their offense continues to mature. In a league full of flash plays and highlight reel offenses, these two teams are reminding us that grit, discipline, and defensive will still matter. If they keep building on what we saw in Week 11, both could be very dangerous come playoff time. If you like, I can also write a shorter 2-minute summary, or create audio show notes based on this. Do you want me to do that?